Hi everyone, it is me, Coffee Stitcher. It is Monday evening. My hair is a mess. I'm actually at my grandmother's, hence the different filming location. Um, I also am in desperate need of a shave. I'm also gonna turn on a little more light and see if maybe that sort of improves things in here. I'm gonna turn on more light. Okay, that does, actually. Hi! Okay. So, I'm gonna do a quick Mania update. I'm talking a little softer because she's in bed and I don't want to accidentally wake her up. So hopefully you can hear me just fine. I'm gonna do a quick WIP update for everyone. I've got scissors. They're shiny. They're actually the ones Kimmy gave me. And I'm gonna do the Stitch Style Tag that Pam did. So and I'll link her video in the original, her original video in the comments. I actually only have one WIP to show, but it's kind of an exciting one. I did make it as far as the as far as I had wanted to on Halloween Eve for Stitch Mania, but I am not at home, obviously. So I don't have it with me because I didn't bring it with me. So you're gonna have to be just content to deal with this picture here on my phone. I did the black and metallic, as well as the cloud in metallic. And I changed the crow to a DMC color. That isn't 310. The reason the gates got done metallic was I came over here last week was going to start it, discovered I had forgotten 310 at the house, so I didn't have it with me, and I didn't have any other project with me, so I had to start it. So I was like, well, we'll make the gates metallic instead of the crow, which honestly I think in the long run is going to look better. I was so excited too because I got all the floss gathered up for it and discovered that I had every color needed in my stash. I was so excited. It's like, I don't actually have to go buy anything else because I just had to get the credit for it. And then I forgot it. And I was like, seriously? So, pardon my yawn. It's been a very, very, very long couple of days. Work had a minor success today, which is always good. I don't really want to detail work stuff on here, but minor success today. That was a good thing. So the other WIP I have, first, I'm in love with thread keeps. This is my one from Retromantic Fripperies, and I will link them in the bottom. The lovely Array has bought from them. I actually didn't know I was buying them from them. My local needle workshop brought this back from National Needlework, and I loved it. And I finally figured out that what I have to do is I have to number the holes on the back, and then on my chart do them numerically. I also have another method that I'm trying out, but that involves getting up again, and I don't really particularly want to get up again. And because it's for something that I haven't worked on in a little bit, intend to work on, will be working on because I'm enjoying it. I just haven't worked on it a bit. It kind of doesn't really matter. So I'll show you when I actually do an update video on it. But I love thread keeps. They're awesome. So what I did was, this one is a restart. I'm restarting one from back when I first started stitching. It was one that I didn't finish because I ran into a major problem. Those of you in Stitch Mania or on Instagram are going to know which one I'm talking about, and long-time viewers, you should probably know as well which one I'm talking about. And that's the Frosted Pumpkins Once Upon a Time sampler. I didn't have enough fabric to finish, so I decided I was going to restart it over. I decided after discovering how much I really love 40 count that I wanted to do it on 40 count. What I'm debating doing is, because there's about 6 of the stories that I'm not really wild about in Once Upon a Time, I'm debating taking the ones from Storytime, because I'm also really not thrilled with my fabric there, and I bought fabric to redo it with. But what I'm thinking I may do is pick, because I really don't care much for Charlotte's Web. It's a cute frame, don't get me wrong. I think it's adorable. I have no desire to stitch it, and I really wasn't thrilled with the Sherlock Holmes one. I do like Secret Garden. I do like Alice in Wonderland. I do obviously like Wizard of Oz. So I may bring over, I don't really care about Little Women, I don't really care about The Lady of Shallow, which I know those are coming. So depending on what else there is, I may do a combination of the two and meld them together. So here's what I did. This was my my 6th start for Mania, and I've already done color swaps. I went with Gentle Arts versus Weeks for my variegateds because I really prefer Gentle Arts. So here's what I've done. I've done the top part of the border. The dark blue I matched as close to Merlin as I could, and that is Black Raspberry Jam. I believe it's Black Raspberry Jam. I've got the colors here, so I'll show you all. So, yes, Black Raspberry Jam. So, Black Raspberry Jam. The light pink that in Weeks Dye Works was raspberry is Claret. And I only used it in this section, in this part here, in this middle part. The purple color that I used here and on the 2 castles is actually Briar Rose. Briar Rose is also going to be the color, I believe. I may not. We'll see. No, excuse me, it's not. Claret and Black Raspberry Jam will still go in the middle as the dividing lines. I replaced the gray, which was Spanish Moss, with a gold color. I took that idea from Chiara, and I did, it's a limited edition called Pharaoh's Gold. And I used that for the crowns too. I will use that as of now. My plan is to use that for all of the text in it. So yes. Oh, I also want to, jumping back real quick, Angie is kind of the one who gave me the idea to do a mixture of the two, because she said, what if you took out one of the ones I didn't like from the original Once Upon a Time and put Dorothy and Toto in from Storytime? I said, well, you know, I didn't want to double dip, but then I had the idea. So Angie is indirectly responsible. This light blue that you see here in the little filigree is Peacock. And then Pebble replaced Spanish Moss, and it's the 2 towers in the castle. And then Pebble is going to go be between these 3 on as the divider boxes. And then I'm actually going to be using, for the Black Raspberry Jam will continue being the outline, but any little outside symbols along the way are going to be peacock and briar rose. So, and I'm doing it 1/2. I'm having an absolute blast with it again. Like, a lot of fun with it. And I think one of the things I'm really liking about it this time is you actually get the sort of banner effect here that I didn't the last time. So the sort of bannery marquee effect, which I'm really, really excited about. So, and then my needle minder, which I hadn't intended to actually use this one, or use these as needle minders, but I needed one, is Dorothy and Toto and the Tornado, and this came from Delicious Threads. So, right, so that is my Once Upon a Time. So I've got one more start, definitely lined up, and then I think I may decide to do some finishes. We've got coming up in Stitch Mania, we've got the words and things, nouns and verbs. We've got the Orange is the New Black. Sorry, I'm responding, laughing. I sent the answer link earlier, and she just responded to it. We've got the Orange is the New Black stitch along, which will be the weekend that the new season comes out. I personally don't watch Orange is the New Black. I really don't like Laura Prepon. There's also a little too much urination in it for me. But I may give it another shot because so many of my friends love it, and I feel like I should. But the only thing is, your goal is to work on a project that has orange or black in it, or is on orange or black fabric. And given that I think you'd be really hard-pressed to find a project that didn't have one of the other colors, you're good to go. You do not have to watch Orange is the New Black. I probably will not. And then in July, we have our next month-long stitch-along, which is Wine and Lips, in which we will be doing, similar to how I attempted and failed miserably at because of life, with Mania, instead of pie and show tunes, we're going to discuss wine. I don't drink. I have no clue. I can tell you very, 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 very little. So I will not be drinking wine. And then WIPs. Pardon me. It'll be to work on pre-existing WIPs that we haven't worked on in a while, or we got stymied on. So I'm probably going to bring back the Leslie Tiras, at the very least. I don't know what else I'll do, but yeah. Maybe Poe was kind of been abandoned for a while. So, yeah. Alright, so now, on to the tag. Alright, so, that's not it. Okay. Question number 1, favorite fabric? Primarily linen. I do like Ada for certain things. I think for, like, I'm loving the Ada I'm doing on Fairy Tales with Angie and Kimmy. Congrats, you interrupted a video. But I'm primarily a linen person. I've not tried even weave, and I've not tried any opalescence, so, but I am a linen fan. Hoop or frame? I guess Q-snaps. I've got the scroll frame that a regular gave me. Still haven't quite figured out how to make that work, mostly because I'm lazy and don't want to baste. And then I know Cassie got me a lap stand for my birthday. Um, so maybe I can um, um, the so maybe that'll help. But um, it's okay, Angie. I promise. What I did, I'll go ahead and tell you all. Someone reminds me that earlier this spring, someone in Japan invented a 20-pound robot that sits on your shoulders and feeds you tomatoes while you jog. Because, you know, whatever jogger needs is to be fed tomatoes by a robot on your back. Uh, personally, which is what she said, if I jogged, I could probably wait to eat the tomatoes. Um, um, so, yeah. There you go. Total tangent. This video is going to be a God knows what's going on. Do you use a stand or just hold your frame? Well, I guess I can just answer this. I hold my frame. I don't know what I would do with this hand if I couldn't hold the frame. I think I would probably still be like, oh, I've got a lap stand, still gonna hold it, because I don't know what to do with this hand. What is my favorite time to stitch? Whenever I have a spare moment and can. I guess I really have a favorite time. I just like to stitch. To use a print paper copy for chart or digital? Combination. I generally prefer the paper copies, but I have used digital. So, I guess my preference is the paper copy, though. Am I a floss licker? Yes. The, train of thought just yes, I'm a total floss licker. I love to lick my floss. I learned the hard way that you do not lick floss once you have used Thread Heaven on it, because that's nasty tasting. Do you hoard or buy supplies as needed? I tend to buy as needed, partially because I'm just starting out, so I don't have a lot of stash. And money. I don't have the money to just go out and be like, oh, I'm gonna buy this over, it looks like it. Even though I'm sure it looks like I do, because I do so much. Oh, look what I just bought! But everything I buy is with the intention of actually stitching. So I'm gonna say that I just buy supplies as needed. What is my favorite floss? Gentle Arts, baby. I'm obsessed with Gentle Arts. At least for cottons. For silks, I am all about the Dragonfly Lotus. All about the Dragonfly Lotus. Liz is amazing. Do I have floss that I don't like? I'm not really well about Anchor. I've only used it a little, but I didn't really like it all that much. And there is... I'm not wild about... No, I've never used them. I'm not wild about the ones like Chaudhry Designs. Not because they're of their quality, because like I said, I've never used them, but they aren't colors that I would use. So I hate to say that I hate them so much as I'm just not interested in them. And then there is another dyer out there that I have used that I'm not a fan of, that I won't say who. Am I a serial starter, or do you have one WIP at a time? I'm a mix. I tend to start things, but I also really try hard to finish the things and not start too many at a time. This is kind of a first for me to start so many, but there's enough of them that I got far enough on that I'm sure I'll get them finished. So, in fact, I've got two that are very close to finishes. Alright, do you have more fully finished objects or UFOs? Well, up until this, I had more finished objects, but I think it's kind of 50-50 now, maybe leaning more towards UFOs. I do have two projects that have been banished to the never to be seen and heard from again pile, so I don't really count those. Do you watch TV while stitching? I watch all sorts of crap. I watch Netflix, I watch Hulu, I watch FlossTube. Sometimes I listen to music. Sometimes I watch movies. Sometimes I watch TV shows. Sometimes I don't watch anything. Sometimes I Skype chat with my friends. Sometimes I don't. But generally something is going on. Although I do find I stitch faster when I'm not distracted. Do you mostly stitch alone, or do you ever get together with someone to stitch? This is kind of a weird one. Because I stitch when I Skype with stitchy friends. Um, um, so I do that. I do a lot of stitching, like when I'm at my grandmother's, I'm stitching in the living room while we're watching TV together. I do the same thing with my parents at home. I do the same thing when boyfriend's playing video games. So I don't really stitch with someone who's also stitching, but I don't necessarily always stitch by myself. Alright, do you like to experiment and alter things with your charts, or do you stitch them just as written? I do not ever change a chart. And if you believe that statement, I have waterfront property in Arizona to sell you. No, Exhibit A. Do you bobbinate floss or not? I bobbinate with exceptions. I did try out the bag idea with Sea Flora, and I hated every second of it. I don't like it. No. No. That is not going to be something I continue doing. In fact, I bought bobbins, so I fixed that, because I did not like it. Now, I do like thread keeps, which I use for during projects. With my Gentle Arts, what I've been doing is after I pull a strand out and use it, I'll tie what's left here. But I am investigating other storage methods, because I feel like I need a better storage method than just having them loose in a drawer. Let's see. Do you start a project in the middle of your fabric or at the corner? It depends. If a chart specifically says start in the corner, like when I've done the mystery samplers, then I start in the corner. But if I have otherwise, I do tend to start in the center, and I do one of two things. I either start in the center and then work in the direction I feel like working, or I start in the center and then just work my way out from there. So it sort of depends on the just sort of depends on the project itself. But generally, I'm a middle starter. Do I have a rotation? I have what I call my rotation, which is, what do I feel like working on now? And that's what I work on. I have my goals list, which got thrown out the window, and I'll get back onto in June. I have my goals list, and if I finish something on my goals list, great. If I don't finish something on my goals list, well, that happens too. But I don't have like, oh, well, this day I'm going to work on this item, with the exception of the new start thing, because then that removes the fun for me. Do you use a timekeeper to keep track of how long it takes you to complete a project? No. I don't ever work really on much, just straight through. Very rarely do I ever. So I do tend to, thanks to things like Facebook or Instagram, I do have a way of saying when I started something, and then I can get an estimated time. But I'm not anal retentive enough to keep an actual time tracker going. And do I park? Ish. What I tend to do is, if I know I'm going to need a color and a few squares, but I'm not there yet, and it's close enough that I don't want to cut and start. It's like close enough I can carry. Um, then yes, I will sort of park by pulling what I need away from where I'm at, and then go from there. But it's not really like legit parking. Um, do I keep my orts now? I know people out there, like Pam said, are going to have a heart attack, but honestly, if it's not long enough for me to use, I don't need to keep it. I just don't. Do you like to have a snack or drink while stitching? I do tend to both. Nothing super messy. Like, I'll sip on sodas and coffee or tea. And I'll eat, like, small, like, little individual candy things, but anything that could be, um, uh, um, um, so, but nothing super messy. Like, I'm not going to sit here and eat, like, turkey and dressing. But hard candies that don't have a stickiness to them, yeah, I'll do that. So, yeah. Um, anyhow, I think that's everything on the Stitchy Style Tag. Um, wow, it's been a longer video than normal. Um, I believe Stitchy Box uh, will be coming soon, so that'll be exciting. Um, but I don't think I've got anything else coming. I will hopefully be getting my parents' wedding gift back, so I'll be able to show that off as a fully finished object. First time taking it to a framer too, I'm very excited. And that's really it. Um, so I don't know yet for sure if I'm going to start what I was planning to start tomorrow or not. It's going to kind of depend when I get home tomorrow morning what I'm like, yes, let's do this, or no, I'm not really feeling it after all. So yeah, guess that's everything. I hope everyone is having a great week. Um, I hope that if you've got a big Memorial Day coming up, that you have fun. And if I don't get a Stitchy box and the gift isn't back, then I probably will see y'all next week sometime.